ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं. Friends, Namaskar. Today we are going to start another new series, Bhagavad Gita in Daily Life. This series will be very short. We will have only 2 talks on this subject, Bhagavad Gita in daily life. Because many times we read Bhagavad Gita, but how to use in our day-to-day life, how to practice it, that we don't know. So it is better to know that how Bhagavad Gita is useful, practical in our day-to-day life. We can practice Bhagavad Gita and achieve excellence in our life. That is what we are going to discuss today. So what is meaning of this Bhagavad Gita and daily life? What does it mean? That means in our daily life, we have to face many challenges, many problems, many difficulties. Now, how Bhagavad Gita is going to help us to overcome all the challenges? Will Gita help us? Is it practical? And my dear friends, it is practical. Bhagavad Gita will certainly help us. It is not a scriptures just to read, to do parayana, to do chanting and keep it in the worship room. That is not the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. Many people, they worship Bhagavad Gita, they chant Bhagavad Gita, they do parayana, but they don't understand underlying meaning and they never try to put into practice. Then what is the use? You have milk in your house, you are worshipping that milk, but you never drink that milk. How will you get strength? Milk is not meant for worshipping, milk is meant for drinking. Then only you will get physical and mental strength. Likewise, Bhagavad Gita is also not only for chanting, but it is for practicing. So, some of the questions we shall take up, and in that line, we will try to understand how Bhagavad Gita is very relevant in our life. Why we are not able to adjust with others? This is our first problem. Everybody will face this problem. There will be always clashes. We cannot live in peace. Always there will be misunderstanding. Why? Why we are not able to adjust with others? The only reason is because of our ego. Whatever I say, that is the only right thing, and whatever you say, it is wrong. Because of this ego, every day we have to quarrel, fight and do all sorts of things, and we give logic for that. We give justification for that. We say these people, old people, what do they know? We know much more than them. You see, we are not ready to listen anybody, whether it is a senior or junior or great people, saints, even scriptures. We think we know much better than all these people what they are telling. This is the problem. Even Bhagavad Gita, you say, Lord Krishna is asking Arjuna to fight. He is giving arguments. No, I should not fight. What will happen? If I fight, this will happen, this will, so many people will die and then I will be killing people, it will be violence. He is giving all sorts of arguments to Lord Krishna. And he is thinking that he is greater than Krishna. And he said, no, you are telling me to fight, but you see, how can I fight? All these problems will come. He is not willing to listen, even Lord also. And Lord Krishna is quietly listening everything. Whatever Arjuna is telling, he is quietly listening. And he realized what is the use of giving advice to such person who is not willing to listen. When Krishna kept quiet, then Arjuna realized there is something wrong with me. I am not obeying the order of Lord. He knows much better than me. And foolishly I am arguing with him. That wisdom dawned upon him last moment. And then he says, now I surrender to you. Now you decide what is good for me. You see, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha prishyami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yashreya shanisitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadi mam tvam prapannam. O Lord, I am your disciple. What is good for me, you tell me. I am totally confused. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prishyami tvam dharma sammudha cheta. I don't understand what is dharma and what is not dharma. I am totally confused. And therefore, I surrender to you. And it is you decide what is good for me. Shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. I am your disciple, I have surrendered to you. Now, yashreya, what is good, that you tell me. And this is the solution for our problem. Easily we don't want to surrender. We want to test people. Even Master Mahashay, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's householder disciple, he was asking questions, and when Sri Ramakrishna was answering, this Mahendranath Gupta will argue. No, how it is? It cannot be like that. It cannot be like that. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, don't argue anymore. What I say is listen. What do you know about that? Only by reading a few books, you think that you are a knowledgeable person. You see, he was arguing with Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna told him not to argue. Whatever he said, just write down what he said. Don't question. Because there is no faith. Ignorant person and there is a knowledgeable person. Who has seen the truth, who has realized the truth, it is God himself. And we are showing our little knowledge. Master Mahashay, without realizing, he was arguing with Sri Ramakrishna. When Sri Ramakrishna asked him, how is your wife? He said, my wife is good, but she is ignorant. Then Sri Ramakrishna scolded him. You are telling that your wife is ignorant and you are a man of knowledge. Wah! What do you think? By reading few books, you are a man of knowledge. Say that he is not ignorant. That is not the knowledge or ignorance. Knowing God is only knowledge, and all other things are all ignorance only. Don't say your wife only is ignorant. You are also ignorant. By reading books, don't think that you are a knowledgeable person. Then ultimately, Master Mahasaya said, my ego was crushed. No more argument. Our problem comes here. Without knowledge or half knowledge, we always go on arguing with others, not knowing fully. And therefore, we are not able to adjust. You just obey. Whatever your boss has asked you to do, you do it. He is your superior. You have no right to question. If anything happens, he is responsible for that. but we want to show our knowledge. Even house also, children don't obey their parents because they think they know more than them. Everywhere this misunderstanding, confusion, quarrel, fight, it is only because of ego. Unless and until we surrender our ego, we will not be able to adjust. Surrender at the feet of God, surrender at the feet of great person, or surrender to elders. Whatever is your duty, you do it. Don't use your head. For that, somebody else is there. Whatever is asked you to do, you do it without arguing. Then there will be no problem at all. Everywhere you will be able to live in peace and happiness. This ego is the cause of all our troubles. And therefore here, Lord Krishna, when he is asking Arjuna, he is not listening. But when he surrendered to Lord, then only Lord Krishna has given the message of Bhagavad Gita. What is the use of giving message to the egoistic person, the arrogant person, who is not willing to listen? When Arjuna surrendered, then Lord Krishna has given that message. So there are many people, they are ready to help us, but we don't want their help. They will tell you once or twice or thrice, and when they realize that this fellow is not listening, we are telling him for his good, but he is not caring, he is not practicing, they will not give any more advice. They say, what is the use of giving him advice? He is not accepting anything. So you hang yourself. Ultimately they will say like that, because you are not able to listen. You are not able to surrender your ego. So Bhagavad Gita is telling us, give up this ego and you will have peace of mind. Don't argue for small and petty things. When you know that your knowledge is not complete, it is only half knowledge or it is only ignorance, then you must listen to the knowledgeable person. He has got more experience. He knows many more things than you. Then why don't you listen to him? If you show your ego, your knowledge, then ultimately nobody will try to help you. You will be in more trouble. So you see, here Gita can help us only when we control our ego. Why we are always full of fear and how to overcome it? This is the second question. Why we are always full of fear and how to overcome it? This is the human nature. Constantly fear. We live in fear and we die in fear. Fear, 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 fear of everything. Fear of disease, fear of death, fear of old age, fear of losing money. Always we are full of fear. Why should we be afraid? Bhagavad Gita says, why we are afraid? We are afraid because of ignorance. Adhyanena avrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. This knowledge is hidden by ignorance and therefore we are deluded. Knowledge is there, but it is hidden by ignorance. And that's why we are full of fear. Swami Vivekananda says, be not be afraid of anything, you will do marvelous work. The moment you fear, you are nobody. See, be not be afraid of anything, you will do marvelous things. The moment you are afraid, you are gone. So why we are afraid? Because we are ignorant. What is that ignorance? That is not knowing that there is no death for us. That is knowledge. To know that there is no death for me, that is knowledge. And when I know that I am only body and body will die and therefore I am afraid, that is called ignorance. So we are always afraid in this world only because we do not know in reality what we are. Arjuna was full of fear because he was ignorant. We are all Arjunas, ignorant Arjunas. He was full of fear. He thought that I may die in this battle, or I may lose this war, or these people, they are my relatives, they are my brothers, my gurus, they also will die. Why he was talking like that? Because he was thinking they are all bodies and I am also body. I will die and they also will die. And this is what? Ignorance. And because of this ignorance, Arjuna was full of fear. He said, no, I don't want to fight. Now what was needed? Knowledge was needed. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord is giving that knowledge first. He said, Arjuna, you are talking like this, but nobody will die, don't worry. These kings also will not die, you also will not die. They were there before birth and they will be there after death. Why you are unnecessarily grieving? You are talking big things like Pandita, but then your behavior is like foolish person. So nobody will die because they are not bodies. And you also will not die because you are also immortal self. Don't think that you are body. And the Lord Krishna in 2nd chapter, he given that strength to Arjuna to fight. He said, give up this weakness of heart. This weakness is coming only because of ignorance. Klaibhyam masma gama partha naitatvayu papaddate shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktotishta parantapa. Arjuna, give up this weakness of heart and get up and fight. Why you are behaving like this? Shudram hridaya daurbalyam. So here Lord Krishna is giving strength to Arjuna. Swamiji said, strength is life and weakness is death. When that strength will come? When we will know that all power is within us. Because we are the all-powerful Atman. We are not this tiny body. All power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that and do not believe that you are weak. Swami Vivekananda says, all power is within you because that is Atma Shakti. That power is not physical. That is the power of the Atman. So that is there. Infinite power is there. Infinite energy is there. But because of ignorance, you think that you are this tiny body. Not knowing that you are the spirit. You are the Atman. You are the divine. And because of this ignorance, we are always full of fear. For anything and everything, we are afraid. We are not willing to take any challenge in life because we are afraid. What will happen? So, this ignorance is the only cause of our fear. And here we should always think, rather constantly we should think, what is real and what is unreal. Bhagavad Gita is telling us what is real. Our real nature is divine. You are potentially divine, Swami Vivekananda says. But you have forgotten your real nature and you think that you are a mortal creature. Give up this idea. So here, ajnanena avrutam jnanam. Knowledge is hidden by ignorance and therefore we are deluded or we are afraid. We are afraid of anything and everything. To overcome fear, this is the only solution that Bhagavad Gita is giving us, Lord Krishna is giving us. Give up this idea that you are the body and others are bodies. No, you are also is Atman, others also they are the self. And therefore there is no death and there is no birth, there is no old age. You are eternally there. Nobody can kill you. Nainam chinnanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka. Na chainam kledayantyapo na shochayati marutaha. Lord says, Arjuna, weapon cannot cut you. Weapon cannot kill you. Nainam chindanti shastrani. Nainam dahati pavaka. The fire cannot burn you. Water cannot make you wet. And air cannot take you away. So therefore, Don't be afraid. All these things are connected with body, but not with you. You are within the body. Nothing can affect you. When this conviction will come to us, then we also will be fearless. There is nothing to fear. When we know that we are immortal and there is no death for us, then we will not even afraid of death. We will be able to face death boldly because now knowledge has come. So Bhagavad Gita is giving a solution how to overcome fear. Now another thing is how to overcome depression. This is also a common problem. Why do we go into depression? This problem is increasing day by day. There are many people, they are under stress, they go into depression. Sometimes they lose their mental balance, they become mad. Why all these things are happening? And rather this is increasing. There are many mental hospitals. Why people are suffering from depression? What is the reason? First, we must go to the cause. What is the reason? Why do people suffer? First thing is sufferings. When we suffer in our life, or even sometimes happiness also, both are equal. So if we are getting something unexpectedly, then also it is shocking. Or when we lose everything, we lose our father, mother, or any friends, brothers, so many sufferings. We are suffering. So when constantly we suffer in life, then we go into depression. Very close friend or very loving son, if we lose, then we cannot come out from that suffering, terrible grief. We cannot overcome that. And people lose their balance. They go into depression. Whole life, they cannot come out. They will be always thinking of their dead son. And they will be talking about only that son. So why this problem happens? Because we are not able to control our mind. Here Bhagavad Gita, our Lord Krishna is still telling us, Sukha dukkhe samay kritva, labha labho jaya jayo. This is the solution for our depression. Happiness will come, misery will come, sufferings will come, troubles will come, whatever may come in life. Sometimes you will lose your business, you will go into loss. Sometimes you will be defeated. Lord Krishna says, Sukha dukkhe samay kritva. So happiness and suffering, labha labho, profit and loss, jaya jayo, defeat and victory, both. In all these situations, you must maintain your mental balance. Samay kritva. All these things are coming to your life, but your mind is absolutely quiet. It is not perturbed at all. Whatever may come in life, you are just a witness, you are just watching. Not even a little your mind is disturbed. Neither you are very happy, nor you are very miserable. See Bhagwan Ramachandra, he was to become a king. He was a prince. Next day he was to become a king. He was not very elated or not very happy. Next day when he was asked to go to forest for 14 years, that time also his mind was balanced. He did not get angry. He did not scold Kaikeyi. He was absolutely peaceful. There was no reaction on his mind. He was so quiet. That's why we say prasanna vadana. He is always prasanna vadana. Whether it is happiness or sufferings or whatever may come, who is able to keep his mind always calm. Sukha dukhe same kritva, labha labho jaya jayo. When we have such type of mind, then we will never go into depression. That is our real mental strength. That is the real test of man. Whether he is strong or weak, when you are able to face all these things without getting perturbed, without getting disturbed. Why? Because you know they will come and they will go. Nothing is permanent in this world. Agamapa ino nitya tan titikshasva bharata. Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Agamapa ino nitya, anitya. They come and they go because they are anitya. This year you are in loss, next year you may get profit. This time you are defeated in cricket match. This time you are defeated by Australia or some other country. Next year you will win. Because not that always you are going to be defeated. Happiness, today you are happy, tomorrow misery will come. Today you are miserable, tomorrow happiness will come. So they keep on changing. Nothing is permanent. When this is the situation, that in this world nothing is permanent, everything is changing, constantly changing. Nobody is going to live permanently in this world. Everybody will have to go. When this is the nature of this world, why to get mentally disturbed? And why to go into depression? Lord Krishna is giving us a solution here. See, all these things will come. But remember, they are all anitya. They will come and they will go. Why you are mentally disturbed? You are behind the mind. You are always calm and quiet. This is only on the surface. You will get waves and all these things on the surface, but below, calm water. The ocean is there, calm and quiet. So this we have to realize. And Lord Krishna is giving solution to us for this problem, depression problem. Then how to perform our duties so that it will not create any bondage. See, when we live in this world, we have to do something. We cannot remain quiet. We cannot remain without work. We have to do something. Nobody can keep quiet. Even breathing is also action. So every moment we have to go on doing something or other. Bhagavad Gita also says same thing, that even one moment we cannot keep quiet. Every time we have to keep on working. But then how to work? Because work is unavoidable. You cannot avoid that. And we know that work is the cause of our bondage also. Karmanu bandhini manushya loke. The karma is only the cause of bondage. So how to work so that this karma will not bind us? That is the secret. That is the secret of work. That is karma yoga. Here Bhagavan Krishna says, Buddhya yukto jaya partha karma bandha prahashyasi. Buddhya yukto jaya partha. Whatever you do, use your intellect. That means use your discrimination. What you are doing. Swamiji has given a beautiful definition. He said, whatever is selfish is immoral, and whatever is unselfish is moral. This is the definition of morality. So when we perform our duties, our actions, put this formula there. What I am doing, is it going to harm others? If it is harming others, I will not do. I don't want to become rich at the cost of others. And whatever is useful to others and useful to me also, such type of activities I will take up. Therefore, Lord Krishna says, Buddhya yukto jaya partha. Use your intellect, use your discrimination, and do only such things which will be useful for you and useful for others. At the same time, do good things, but don't get attached even to good things also. Don't go on advertising that I have done so much good. You have not done anything. God has got that work done through you. He is the doer, you are not the doer. Don't have any ego that I have done, I have done. So do good things, but give all credit to God. It is God who has done. Who am I to do? So here, this is the way to overcome bondage of karma. Such type of karmas, when we perform good actions and offer to God, we don't take credit for ourselves, then automatically we cutting our bondage. We don't want fruits of good karmas or bad karmas. But bad karma will definitely bring bondage. Therefore, we have to avoid bad karmas. And even good karmas also can create bondage, giving more happiness. So do good karma, but offer at the feet of God. You have right only to work and not the fruits thereof. Karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Therefore here Lord says, so here do your work. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. But with skill. You should learn the secret and then do your work. Use your intellect and then do your work. Whatever is bad, whatever is harmful, whatever is criminal, don't go for such actions, such activities. Give up them. Do good things, work hard, do your duty honestly. That is what Swami Vivekananda says, work is worship. Whatever you do, whether office or house, treat it as a worship of God. You are worshipping God through your duties. Have such type of attitude. You are serving God only. Have such type of attitude. Then this karma will not bind you. Rather, it will cut your bondage. This is the solution that God has given. Why do we feel emptiness in our life? This is also the common problem. People say, oh, I don't feel interest in life. I feel always emptiness. There is no joy. I have got everything, but I am not very happy. I am a frustrated person. I don't lack anything, but still I am not happy. You see, this emptiness is there in the heart of every human being, knowingly or unknowingly. We feel that something is missing in life. We are not satisfied because we are running after temporary things. And these things cannot give you permanent happiness. We should always remember that. We do not know where to search for happiness. We are searching happiness in this world and it is not there at all. Then you will certainly feel emptiness. You think that if you get very costly car, you will be happy. You purchase that car, you work hard, you purchase. After purchasing car also, few days you will enjoy. Afterwards you feel emptiness. Like that, anything you take, you are not fully satisfied. You want something better, something better. This is 1 crore car, I want 10 crores car. Now, how can we feel satisfied? These worldly things cannot give us lasting satisfaction, lasting happiness. But there is something which is your own, and that is pure happiness, their fullness. There is no emptiness. And by getting that only, you will feel fully satisfied. Then you will say, now I don't want anything. Tukaram Maharaj said, now where my mind will go? I have seen the feet of God. All my sufferings have gone. I don't want anything. आता कोठे धावे मन, तुझे चरण देख लिया. भाग गेला शीन गेला, अवगा झाला आनंद. Now I am in full of bliss. All my emptiness has gone away. I am full of bliss and I am satisfied. I don't want anything worldly. I am satisfied because I have touched the feet of Lord. That only can give us lasting happiness. You will never feel emptiness. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Yam labdhva cha param labham manyase nadhikam tataha. Having realized that, Yam labdhva cha param labham, having realized that joy, that bliss, that happiness, there is nothing more to achieve in life. You get fully satisfied. There will be no emptiness in your heart. Yam labdhva cha param labham manyase na adhikam tatah. There is nothing more to realize because that is infinite. We are always searching for infinite joy, infinite bliss, and this world is not able to give us, and that's why we feel emptiness. Because that happiness is not in this world, that is within us. And when we realize that what is within us, then our heart will be full of bliss. Then never we feel emptiness. We will be always in bliss. All the time we will be in bliss. Because there is no more happiness than that. It is the ultimate. It is the infinite happiness. So because we are not getting that, we are feeling emptiness. We have to struggle to realize that infinite happiness within ourselves, not in the things of this world, because there is no real happiness. That is all temporary. It will come and go, and again it will make you empty. That solution Gita is giving to us. How to educate ourselves in the light of Bhagavad Gita. So we have education system, where what we do, we learn subject. But then by learning subject, we cannot become real educated. That is not true education. That is only collecting informations. That is not education. Our scripture says there are two types of education. One is called Paravidya, other one is Aparavidya. Paravidya, Aparavidya. Lower knowledge and higher knowledge. Lower knowledge is the knowledge of the world. Physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, or history, geography, whatever it may be. All these, studying all these books, it is also knowledge, but it is a lower type of knowledge. Only to earn money and to fill our belly. This knowledge only can help us only that much. But there is higher knowledge. That is higher knowledge, that knowledge will make us free. Sa vidyaya vimukte. That knowledge which makes us free, that is real knowledge. That is real education. This knowledge will increase our ego, but that knowledge will make us humble. Vidya dadati vinayam. When we get that knowledge, we will be humble. We will not make show of our knowledge. So that is the real knowledge. And what is that real knowledge? Bhagavad Gita says, Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shvapakecha panditaha samadarshina. Here Lord Krishna says, who is Pandit? Pandit means scholar. That means real learned person, educated person. Who is educated person? Who is scholar? Who is Pandit? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini. A scholarly Brahmin. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane. Gavi, cow, elephant, dog, chandal, downtrodden. Who can see the same God in all these different varieties? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni chaiva shvapakecha panditaha samadarshinaha. Samadarshi. He sees that God equally present in everybody. whether he is a Brahmin or a Chandala or a dog or the elephant or a cow, he sees that same God is residing in the hearts of everybody. That is a real educated man. Such person cannot do anything wrong. How can he do wrong? Because he sees God only. To whom he will do wrong? There is no human beings, birds, animals. There is only God. These are all different names and forms, but inside the one same consciousness. So when we realize that same God is dwelling in the hearts of everybody, not only human beings, even animals, even birds, then we cannot harm anybody. Because harming others is harming ourselves. Same God is within us also. We feel oneness with all, oneness with universe, oneness with all creatures. We feel their sufferings. We want to help them. That is called real knowledge. Here, that knowledge is not making you selfish. It is expanding your consciousness. You feel that whole world is your own because the whole world is nothing but God. Then all your limited bondages will go away. What we have created boundaries, all these boundaries will break, and you will feel that God is not only in your children or your wife or your sister or brothers, but He is in everybody. Tukaram Maharaj says, दया करणे पुत्रासी तैसे दासा आणि दासी. तुका म्हणे सांगू किती ह्याची भगवंताच्या मूर्ती. You love your children because they are your children. But love your servants also. Because all these things are Bhagavantacha Murti. They are the images of God. Not only your son and daughter, but even servants and maid servants, they are all images of God. Therefore, have equal look. Treat everybody equally. Don't have any differentiation. Don't differentiate. This is a scheduled caste, this is a good caste, lower caste, higher class, or this is a woman or this is a man. Don't have any type of difference. All are equal. That is called real knowledge. That is real education. We have to educate our children with such type of knowledge. Don't harm others because in everybody God is dwelling. Harming others is you are harming God only. Try to help, try to serve. This type of education will make us unselfish. And that is true education according to Bhagavad Gita. When we are in trouble, will God save us? Many times we think like that. God should always come and help us. Whenever we are in trouble, we are devotees of God. So it is His duty to come and save us. Yes, God will certainly save us. Why not? He is all powerful. He can save us. But why to trouble God? Sri Ramakrishna used to tell a story. There were 3 friends. They went to forest. And they saw that one tiger was approaching. Now the first fellow said, "Arey, tiger is coming, we are gone, we are gone, we are gone. Now we are gone totally. There is no hope for survival. That tiger will eat us." That means he does not have faith in God. He thinks now finish, everything is finished. Now there is no hope. Second person says, "Arey, why you are afraid? God is there to protect us. He is more powerful. Don't be afraid of that tiger. God will protect us. God will save us." Because he believed in existence of God. He was a devotee. But the third friend says, "My dear friend, why to trouble God? God has given us this intellect. Why not use it? Unnecessarily, why to trouble Him? Why ask Him to come and help? Here is a tree. Let us climb on that tree. We can save ourselves. Not necessary to trouble God for this." He was a real devotee. He did not want to trouble God. Why to trouble God for our purpose? No, that is not real devotion. We will climb on the tree and we will protect ourselves. This is the way. We should not wait for somebody to come and protect us. And therefore Gita says, Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayed. Atmaiva atmana bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. Save yourself by yourself. Uddhared atmanatmanam. Natmanam avasayed. Never look down upon yourself. Never say that I am useless, I am good for nothing, I cannot do anything, I cannot face any challenge. Don't degrade yourself. Don't look down upon yourself. That means you are destroying yourself. That is your fall. Don't say like that. So save yourself by yourself. Uddhared atmanatmanam. Natmanam avasayed. Atmaiva atmana bandhu. Your mind is your friend. And this mind itself is your enemy. Atmaiva ripuratmana. When this mind is under your control, when you are full of confidence, courage, boldness, fearlessness, this mind will behave like a friend. It will always help you to face challenges. But when you have negative thoughts, full of fear, full of wrong thinking, no confidence, then this mind itself will become your enemy. And you will not be able to achieve anything great in this world. So therefore, take the responsibility on your own shoulder and know that you are the creator of your own future. Don't depend on others. Don't blame others for your failures. Don't expect any help from others. God has given you this body, mind, intellect. Why don't you use it? Why do you depend upon God? God will certainly help, but here God helps them, those who help themselves. We must learn to help ourselves. Gita is teaching us, don't depend on others for any help. Be independent. Don't be depending on others for everything. So that is real life, because you have self-respect. You don't want to beg from others. You maintain your dignity. So you try to manage yourself, solve your problem yourself, face challenges yourself, because you have got tremendous power within you. Awaken that power. By negative thinking, you are losing that power. But always think that I have no fear. I have infinite strength within me. I myself can manage. Why should I wait for God to help me? This is the spirit that Bhagavad Gita is teaching us. How to control this restless mind? That is the common question, and everybody has to face. Each and every human being, we are not able to study, we are not able to do our work properly, we commit all sorts of mistakes, we are not able to remember even simple things. Why these problems are there? Because the mind is restless. Mind is very, very restless. Now, when this restless mind, wandering mind, how to control it? That is the problem. Yes, it can be controlled. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Himself says, Arjuna, I know this mind is very restless, but don't think that it is impossible to control it. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihate. By regular practice of meditation and spirit of detachment, you can control this mind. See, the wonderful solution God has given. Regular practice. What is practice? Meditation. Regular practice of meditation will help us to keep our mind under control. It will not wander. The beautiful verse in Gita. Shanai shanai uparamed buddhya dhriti grihitaya atma samstham manakritva na kinchidapi chintayet. What Lord says here, slowly, slowly withdraw your mind. Shanai shanai uparamed buddhya dhriti grihitaya. With the help of determinative intellect. You say we have intellect, buddhi, but there should be determination, tremendous determination. With such type of intellect, determinative intellect, withdraw your mind from outside things and focus it on the Atman. Atma samstham manakritva na kinchidapi chintayet. and don't think of anything. Other thoughts you keep away. Only focus your mind on the Atman, on the God, on the divine. Only think about divine. Only think about Atman, Atma Chintan. When you sit for meditation, slowly, steadily withdraw your mind from external things. Bring it back. Focus on the Atman and don't think of any other worldly things. Only think of the Atman. That is called Atma Chintan. And by constant practice of such meditation, that I am the witness, I am the self, I am watching my mind. It is mind is flickering, mind is roaming, mind is wandering, but I am only watching it. Then if you keep yourself separate from the mind, slowly, slowly mind will become quiet. How long this monkey of mind can jump? It will get tired and it will be calm. So just watch it. Don't allow mind to think of other things. Just watch mind and focus it on the Atman. Again and again focus it on the Atman. Think that you are the Atman. If you want to think, actually we should not think either good or bad thoughts. We have to make your mind absolutely thoughtless. But that stage will not come immediately. So first we have to think of the Atman. It is called Atma Chintan. And avoiding worldly thoughts. And then we have to go beyond those thoughts also. Then mind will be absolutely quiet. There will be no thought at all. Then what remains is only Atman. It is behind the mind. When mind becomes quiet, you feel that you are the self. Mind was the only hindrance in your way. To make mind quiet, Patanjali also says, Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodhaha. What is yoga? Making this mind free from all the vrittis, free from all the thoughts. When you make your mind free from all the thoughts, all the vrittis, then that is called real yoga. You will realize the ultimate goal of life. How to overcome death? This is also a regular problem. Everybody is afraid of death. A little health problem, we immediately rush to hospital, we rush to doctors. What will happen? What will happen? Body will die. You are not going to die. Body is going to die. But then we are afraid. Now, how to overcome this fear of death? You can overcome this fear of death if you have faith in God. You know that God will protect you. Or if you realize or you have conviction that you are the self, you are not the body. And when death will approach, now death is there just before you. That time if you can remember God, then also you can overcome death. Last moment, you are on deathbed. Now your prana is going out. In that moment, if you can remember God, then death will run away. You will go to God. You will not come back to this samsara. Then there will be no fear for you. That is what Gita says. Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastatre samshaya. Lord Krishna says, Anta kale cha mameva smaran yukta kalevaram. Last minute, antakal. If you can remember me, then you will come to me only. Ya prayati samadbhavam yati nastatra samshaya. He will come to me and he will not come to this world. There is no doubt about it. But to remember God at the last moment, at the time of death, you have to practice whole life. When you remember God every day, then only at the time of death you will be able to remember God. Otherwise you will not be able to remember God even at the last moment. So this practice, regular practice, while doing your work, by doing all these things, we have to constantly remember God. Then at the time of death also you will get the memory of God and you will go to God, you will not come to this world. This is the solution that God has given to overcome death. to go beyond that, to overcome the fear of death. And the last question is, how to overcome suffering in life? You see, sufferings will be there. We cannot totally overcome, but certain extent we can reduce them. We are not able to conquer them. We can get rid of all sufferings only by realizing truth. Then there will be no suffering. But till then some sorts of sufferings will be there. But if we improve our way of life, then we can get rid of this suffering certain extent. That is what Gita is telling us. That means we should have self-discipline in life. Most of the problems, most of the health problems today, it is because our way of life. Continuously sitting before computer, hours together, not doing exercise, too much extrovert, too much enjoyments, too much eating, too much drinking, all sorts of bad habits we have developed. Now that means we are inviting sufferings. Who is responsible for all these sufferings? You are inviting that sufferings. And there is only way to overcome that, and that by practicing yoga. That is what Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Yukta har viharasya, Yukta chestasya karmasu, Yukta swapna avbodhasya, Yogo bhavati dukkha. This yoga will destroy your suffering, dukkha, म्हणजे it will destroy. Yoga will destroy your sufferings. And what is yoga? You should be moderate in everything. Yukta hara viharasya, ahara and vihara. Your eating, that should be moderate. Out of greed, if you go on eating beyond your limit, you are not moderate in your eating. You cannot digest, but out of greed you are simply eating, overeating. And this overeating will create all sorts of diseases in your body. It will create lethargy. It will create sugar problem. It will create overweight, heart attack. Why these sufferings are coming? Because you are not leading a moderate life. You are not leading a disciplined life. So here Lord says, Yukta hara viharasya, your ahara and vihara should be moderate. Then your sleep and keeping awake, that also should be moderate. Sometimes only 2 hours sleep, sometimes 10 hours sleeps. You cannot become yogi like that. Yukta hara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu. Even your work also you should be moderate. Sometimes you will work for 20 hours and sometimes you work for 4 hours. That means you are not moderate in your work. Work every day, but have limit. I will work every day for only 8 hours. I will not go beyond 8 hours because that will be taxing my body, straining my body, keeping awake in the night, sleeping 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That means that is not the way of life. That is not the yoga. Yoga is teaching us to be moderate in your work, be moderate in our eating and roaming, moderate in our sleep and keeping awake. Yukta hara viharasya, yukta chestasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkha. This is called yoga. Be moderate in everything. Don't do anything excess. If you do excess, you are inviting all unwanted sufferings. No one is responsible, you are responsible for that. But if you lead a moderate life, that is called yoga. And if you are disciplined in your life, then this yoga will destroy your sufferings. So this is the way we can overcome our sufferings. It is man-created sufferings. Many times we create because we don't have control over ourselves. When we don't have control over mind, then we invite all this trouble either by greed or whatever it may be. So we are responsible for our sufferings. We should always remember that. By correcting our routine, by correcting our lifestyle, we can avoid many diseases in this birth, in this life. We can enjoy very healthy life. So this is what Bhagavad Gita is telling us. Living in this world and day-to-day life, facing all these problems, here Gita will certainly come to our help. But then we must follow the instructions given by Lord Krishna. Then only we can overcome all these problems in life and we can enjoy life in this world. And also we can realize our ultimate goal of life, our real nature. Then only we will be fearless and we will be able to live in this world peaceful and happy. So we shall conclude our today's talk here. Namaskar, Dhanyavad. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Ma Kashid Dukha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tassat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.